Hello all and welcome to the latest Craftmania Sunday Showcase. I'm Jamie and I'm going to be your host today as I take you through 7 brand new Christmas dies. Now I know a few of us are trying to avoid Christmas, but with August just around the corner, it's time we started to think about it, and the set of dies I've got for you today are possibly going to be the bit that's going to tempt you to start Christmas because they're really beautiful. Now, if you are new to our videos, every week we launch some new products or bring you some promotional products. We have an offer on them every week, and the offer lasts for just that week only. So, for instance, your 7 dies we're going to be looking at today all have 20% off of them if you wish to purchase them individually. We also have a mega bundle and an essentials pack too, but all of the offers are just valid for 1 week and 1 week only. So they're going to end at 5 PM on Saturday the 4th of August 2018. So with that in mind, you really want to get them while we've got them and while you can get them cheap. So let's have a little look through the products themselves. Now, every item I show you today will have a code to it. So for instance, this one is code die1. If you're going to call us to order, if you wish to text your order, or if you wish to do it on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter and YouTube, please tell us the code that we're going to assign to each product. And then that way we know the items you're on about and don't have to question you too much. So the first set we're looking at is a set of border dies. Now in this set you're getting 6 dies for your money. The actual set should be £9.59, but with your 20% off is only £7.67. Now that £7.67 is actually buying you 6 different dies. And they've been really clever the way they've designed these because they all interchange. So for instance, the outside edges, you've got a rectangle, you've then got a scalloped edged one, and we've got a wave edge one. What that leaves us are the 3 delicate dies. Now these don't have blades around the outside of them, so if you wish to cut them and leave them in your cardstock you can do, or of course you can use the ones we've just removed to cut them out as a freestanding item. Now the good bit with these is not only are you going to get some really lovely snowflakes cut into your card, the bits that come out of several of these are really good for shaker cards and added decorations as well. For instance, this little bit in here is a really lovely snowflake. It could also make quite nice centres for flowers and bits. And the Christmas trees that cut out of this one, for instance, are really actually quite cute. They look like you've punched them out. So you really are going to get lots of value out of these and lots of options with them. Talking of options, the outside edges, the bits we removed, they fit over every design. So I'm going to put these back in different places to give you an idea. But it basically means that each one of them can be interchanged with different designs. And the good bit about having them as separates, for instance, is if we take the wave one here for an idea, with the Christmas trees, obviously if you want to cut it like that to have it as a border at the bottom of your card, that's perfect. But if you want a matching one coming down from the top, your Christmas trees may well be the wrong way up. But with the die being able to be swapped either way, it means that you can choose which way you want them to be, so you can make matching tops and bottoms. So it really can work in your favour having them as freestanding items, and it's just a really clever set of dies. Obviously we can make them into borders and added decorations and bits like that, fold them into circles, we can put bits behind them. So for instance, like with this one, well, I've added some mirror board behind this one. This is using the plain rectangle die with the holly in the middle. But there's so many options of what we can do with these. They're really nice if you want to do dome cards as well and have a bit of a pattern across the top and bottoms of them. Really lots of options. But that's die 1. You're going to get to see lots of cards I've made soon, and we'll have lots of those on them too. The next one we're looking at is die number 2. Now this is our lantern die. Again, quite a nice die because it means we can do quite a few bits with this one. We can snip it about quite a bit and turn it into corners. We can just use the little birdies on here if we prefer. It's a really nice die set. You've also got a nice bow that goes with this one. So this is code 2, die 2. It's your lantern set. It should be £7.19, but with your 20% off, it's only £5.75. So it's a really cheap set, to be honest. Given the size of these and the fact you're getting 2 dies, really impressive price point. Moving on, we have our very cute penguin. Now that's the one you got a little sneaky peek of on the top of the box earlier. We'll be talking more about that when we get to it, but he really is so sweet. Not only do you get our very cute penguin, you also get our little hat to pop on him as well. One of the nice bits with this is it has a matching Christmas tree cut out the top of it. So if you are going to go for the border set, it can really look quite nice because you can match them two together. We also have a little birdie to go with it and a scarf to dress on our little penguin. And then we have a really nice Christmas tree too. Now the Christmas tree obviously can be built up in scenes with like your lanterns, for instance, or we could do a little penguin scene and put the trees behind him. Really lots and lots of options. Once again, that was die free, should be £7.65, but with your 20% off, it's only £6.12, which again, considering you're getting so many dies for your money, that's a really good little set to have too. Die 4. Now, die 4 is our Christmas wreath. Now, I really love this. Again, it is quite good because we can put things like the tree in the middle of it, or even the lantern, even the penguin fits in the middle if you want to have a more filled-in approach to your wreath. This one's die 4. It should be £10.99, but with your 20% off, it's only £8.79. On to die 5. Now, die 5, this is another one of them clever die sets. What we're getting this time is a snowflake frame set. So we've got a really nice snowflake edge going around our frame, but there's not a blade in the middle here, so it is left solid. So if you do wish to build things up in the middle, stamp images on it, put your sentiments on there maybe instead, you can do. You can just use it for your insert if you wish. But if you wish to turn it into a frame, we've also got the matching dies to go with it. So you can pop that in there and actually cut it out as a frame. Or of course you can use these layers to create their own smaller frames to pop on top. Or you could just make them into mats to go on top of that and layer it all up. So many options with this set again. So this is die 5, our snowflake frame set. It should be £9.59, but with your 20% off, it's only £7.67. Which once again, considering we're getting 4 dies for the money, really good little set to have. On to die 6. Now this one's beautiful. I love this. How could we not want this one? It's got all the cutie bits of Christmas in it. We've got owls and reindeers and birdies, and it's just beautiful. So die 6 should be £11.49, but with your 20% off, it's only £9.19. And again, considering it's such a big die, creator card dies can often cost double that money, if not more, from different brands. So £9.19, I have a feeling that one might go quite quickly because it's very cute. On to die number 7. Now die number 7 is our bauble corner. Again, a really clever die because we can cut this around in quite a few ways and make up different bits with it. So really fun one to work with. Die 7 should be £7.29, but with your 20% off, it's only £5.83. Now, all of those dies are obviously available individually if you do wish to purchase them. As I've told you, your individual codes and your individual prices. But if you do wish to save a few more pennies, you could actually buy our mega bundle. Now, the mega bundle this week has in all 7 of those sets of dies. It should cost you, or its recommended retail price, is £63.79. But you can save even more than your normal 20% off of buying them individually, and you can buy the complete set for just £50. Now, considering the amount of actual dies you're getting for that, again, really good value for money, and even more savings than buying them individually. Of course, if you are looking to purchase these within the UK and have them shipped to you, £50 will also put you into our free P&P category. We'll chat more about that a little later, but it does mean you could have all of that set sent to your door for just £50, which really is quite good value considering how much you're getting for that money. Now, let's have a little look at your essentials pack, shall we? Now, again, if you're new to our videos, every week we do a matching essentials pack. It's basically lots of the bits I've been using to make the cards I'm going to show you next. And it's a way that if you do like the look of those, you can purchase this pack and it will certainly set you on the right track to create them cards again. Your essentials packs always have at least a third off of them. So this week's pack, for instance, should retail for £21.54, but it's yours for just £14. Now, your £14 is going to buy you an awful lot of stuff. We're going to start off by looking at these. These are new. It's the first time we've ever given this style of item away in your essentials pack, and I think it's going to mean that these are going to go very quickly indeed. You're getting 4 A4 sheets of die-cut decoupage. Now, these are perfectly formulated to go with the dies that you're working with. If you do end up with the bundles or the individual dies. For instance, the snowflake frame, the shape that cuts out in the middle, or if you leave it solid, is actually perfect to fit this. It's the same shape. And they're giving you 3 of those. So you're going to actually get 3 different options to go on them. Again, quite nicely designed because you're getting portraits and landscapes. So it means you can use them on different dimensions on your card. Over this side, we've then got the really lovely birdies and a couple of the like twiggy corner bits. You've then got a nice lantern version. On the top here, we've got the reeves with some very cute little owls in. Again, another version of the corner. And again, a little reindeer in our little reef over there too. Then over here, we have some very beautiful snowmen. Now, one of the good bits is that reef die actually fits over the bubbles that you're seeing on these. So if you do want to pop the snowman layered up in the inside of your reef, you certainly can. So lots of options with them. But 4 A4 sheets of die cut decoupage is what you're going to be getting in your essentials pack. You're also going to be getting a 12 by 12 sheet. Now, I've used this side of it on one of my cards, so that's what you're going to see. But it also has loads of little pictures on the back of it too, so it could fit in quite well with some of your dies again. You're also going to get 1 sheet of an ice blue Centura Pearl card. Of course, this matches really well with the colours that you're going to be getting in your pictures for your decoupage. We're also going to give you a packet of 100 self-adhesive blue gems. Once again, matching really well with the colour scheme set by your pictures if you are going to be using them. We're then going to give you a sheet of gold mirror board and a sheet of silver mirror board. You're also going to be receiving 10 sheets of our light champagne pearl card. Now, this is a really nice weight card stock. If you want to make your boxes out of it, you can do. Your card blanks from it, it really does stand up. It's a good card stock, but equally it's not too thick, so you can die cut out of it, you can stamp on it, you can colour it. It really is a lovely card stock to have. We're then going to give you 2 8x8 cards. So you're going to be getting a cream 8x8 card and a white one. You've also got matching envelopes to go with them so that they're ready to send when you've completed them. You've also got some card stock coming as well. So you're going to get an A4 sheet of black, an A4 sheet of green, an A4 sheet of blue, and an A4 sheet of burgundy. Again, they're colours you're going to see featured for a lot of my cards. Then on to ribbons. You're going to get 1 metre each of all of these ribbons. So you've already seen the orange one used around the edge of my little penguin box, but you're going to see all of the others come up on the rest of the cards as well. So we've got a nice satin one with a sheer centre and satin edges. You've got a nice green tartan, a double-sided burgundy satin, and then obviously our orange tartan, or gingham I should say, not tartan, sorry, gingham. And then we've got these. Now this one's a really nice one. It's actually a wired edge ribbon, so it will stay wherever you wish to put it. And it's got a nice gold thread going through it in a couple of places too, so really lovely for Christmas. And then on the end here, we've got a nice 2-stripe satin stripe on a sheer ribbon as well. So lovely ribbons. Once again, your Sunday Showcase Essential Pack for this week should be £21.54p, but it's yours for just £14. Now, before we move on to the cards, talking of packs and bits that we have going on, I know a lot of you have already had July's mystery bag, but this week we launch our August mystery bag. So again, you can have these held if you wish to post in any of the comments on our social media platforms. You can order it by text, or again, it's available on the website too. And we can, of course, pop this into your orders if we are posting them out to you, even if it's before the 1st of August. Don't worry, we won't hold up your order. These are ready to go, so don't panic too much about that. If you do want to get your hands on them, they're ready for you to purchase. Now, in your mystery bag, if you haven't heard of these before, these are great fun. Obviously, it's a mystery, so I can't tell you too much about what's in here. But what I can tell you is the actual theme for this month's pack is butterfly florals. You're going to be getting £20 and 58p's worth of products, and it's only £10 to purchase. Now in here we've got loads of different bits. I don't want to tell you too many bits, but there's papers and stickers and ribbons and clear stamps. You really do get an awful lot of stuff in here. You'll be amazed at just how much you're getting for your £10. So again, you can read more about them on our website, or of course you can come and have a little bit of a feel and see what you can see through the bag in store if you do wish to pop in. But they really are great, and you're going to get an awful lot of stuff in there. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with them. If you do wish to, you can also subscribe so we can send them to you directly on the 1st of every month. Just have a chat with us about that over the phone or on one of the social media platforms, or via text even if you wish to. Or of course you can have them held for you in store as well. You can subscribe to our list in store, and we will hold one every month for you and make sure that you don't miss out, because they do go quite quickly, and the last thing we want is you missing out on them. So let's have a little look at the cards I have made today with the dies and papers and bits from the Essentials pack. So this is the first one I'm going to show you. Now this of course has got our frame die on it. Now our frame die is only £9.19. This time I've cut it out using the light champagne cardstock that you're getting in your Essentials pack, but I've coloured over it just using felt tips, and then over the top of it I've gone over with tea dye distress ink to just match in all the colours, sort of give it a bit more of a vintage effect, because that was sort of what I was after. In the background here, you can also see the lantern die. The lantern die is only £5.75. I've not used the bow that comes with it, but I just really like the way that sort of fitted in the background to my actual panel. The paper again is in your essentials pack, and so is your blue card. Even this bit here, the red that you're seeing, that isn't actually the card that you're getting in your essentials pack. It's again the light champagne, and I've just coloured it in with matching felt tips around the edge to tone in them colours so that they match really well. But it's quite an easy card to make, but it does show you how beautiful you can dress up the dies that are in this week's collection. Moving on to our next one. Now this is the first time I'm getting to show you one of your decoupage items. So this of course is one of the images that you're going to be getting on your sheets in your essentials pack. Here are the other two that I've made as well. Let me, oh, come back you. Let me show you those because these are quite cute too. So we have our little polar bear and our penguin, and again a little polar bear and penguin. Oh, I've got a little lid there, sorry. I'm in a mess today, aren't I? And you've got a couple of little Christmas trees on there as well. They're proper cute, aren't they? But that's all off of this sheet here. So of course you're still going to be getting 3 more sheets full of items as well that you could use. But on my one, as I said to you earlier, it does match up perfectly with the snowflake frame. So the snowflake frame, I've actually used the largest die to cut a hole out of it so that it is actually a frame itself and left open. I've then used ribbon to tie through the loops on the side, which is quite nice because it has loops on all of 4 sides. So if you do want to hang it, or if you wanted to make them back to back and turn them into a Christmas tree decoration, things like that you certainly could do. But I quite like that sort of hung onto the card effect. At the top and bottom of my card, I've used the border dies. Now, don't forget, as I said to you earlier, we can pop the Christmas tree one in so that you can have the scallop at the top of it or at the bottom of it. So that's how you can create a top and bottom matching border effect really, really easily. And I've just distressed around the edges of mine. I've put them onto a thin piece of acetate so I could actually curve them, and they're quite resilient and quite strong there. And just glued my acetate underneath the sides of my layers so that it holds up perfectly. I've then used the Christmas tree die, which comes in with the penguin set. Don't forget that's only £6.12p, and you're going to get the penguin and the Christmas tree and all his decorations. And I've just done a couple of them and stuck that on the back of my little domed bar. So quite a simple card, certainly not complicated, but quite a fun one. And I really do like the images, and I love the colours that they've done with those. Sometimes Christmas can be very bright and tacky, and I quite like the fact they're quite muted. On to my next card. Now this one is using a few dies. We've got the reef die obviously in the middle here, which is reduced to just £8.79. And then around the edges you're seeing the frame die. Now don't forget the frame die starts off as our big square frame, but there's nothing stopping you cutting that about a bit. So I've literally cut pieces off of it to create my 4 corners, and it means it is a much bigger area covered than the actual frame die itself. I'm again on an 8x8 card to give you an idea of scale. Once again, I've cut these all out of light champagne, and I've coloured over the top of them with felt tips, and then I've just distressed over the top of it with tea dye to give it a bit more of a toned down effect. The actual card itself, I've taken an 8x8 card. Don't forget you're going to be getting them in your essentials pack. So that's your ordinary 8x8 card. But what I've done is I've folded the sides of it. So this is your original spine of your card where it would open. But I've folded both sides in half, meaning that I have 4 equal panels. And then that way you can stand this up as a cube instead of just a flat card, meaning that that little circle in the middle can poke through the reef quite nicely. And it's up to you how angled you wish to stand it, but you'll get different effects each way. And then on the inside I've just used the card that you're getting in the essentials pack to decorate all 4 panels. Now of course you could add more die cuts on here. You could add in insert decorations and sentiments and bits as well if you wanted to, but it's just a different way of making a card. I hadn't personally done that before, so hopefully it's something you might want to have a play about with. Don't forget you're going to get your cards in your essentials pack. That's perfect to do that with too. Now this one is using the border die, which don't forget is now only £7.67. That's down the bottom here, and again I've put my gold behind it so you can see the holly through it. We've got the penguin die in the middle here with the Christmas tree. Don't forget you get them 2 together. That's £6.12p. And then around the edge we've got our frame die, which is £9.19. Now the frame, I wanted to show you this because of the frame is so delicate and so lovely, even just used as a flat item. But why not layer your elements? So for instance, on our little animals all the way around here, I've gone 2 or 3 levels high. So our owl, for instance, he's quite built up. And you can do the same with the baubles and the flowers. It really is up to you how much you want to layer. And again, there's nothing stopping you colouring these in or going over the top of them with gilding waxes, distress inks. You could really make them pop a bit more if you wanted to. But I wanted to show you, just using that really nice light champagne card with a bit of gold mirror card behind it, how easy you could tone it all together. The ribbon again is in your essentials pack, so that's another bit that you're going to have in there if you do wish to recreate this. So a nice easy card really. On to our next one. Now with this one, what have we got? We have got the border die again, £7.67, but this time I haven't used any of the edges it comes with. I've just used the holly part. Now, as I said to you at the beginning when we looked at that one, because of it's got that part that's free, we can do so many different things with it. So I've actually used it and twisted it around my cardstock. So I've got 4 cuts going in each direction to make up my frame. Now I actually quite like this because I felt it looked like a much more expensive die, one that I'd actually bought as a big square, but instead it's just made up with that one element out of that set. And of course, not only could you do that with a holly, you could do that with the snowflakes, you could possibly even play about and do it with the Christmas trees, depending on the angles you want your Christmas trees to sit at. In the middle, we've also got the snowflake frame die. Now, don't forget that one's reduced to £7.67. I've left it solid as its actual backing, and then I've used the 3 different layers on the top of it just to build up and match in my colours with my stamped sentiment in the middle. Your ribbon again is out of your essentials pack, and then down the front here we've got some poinsettias added. Now this is a poinsettia we've stocked for a few years, but it's the first time it's back in stock for this Christmas season. So in here you're going to get 2 poinsettia dies. You've then got the bit to go in the middle of them, and of course you've got a little leafy holly bit to go with it as well. Now this set's only £9.99, and if you do wish to have this held via any of our social media platforms or over the phone by a text, just to let us know that you would like the red poinsettia set, and we can have that one held for you. But £9.99 is quite a nice size set for the money, and as you can see it layers up quite well. I've just added little gems in the middle of mine to just tie the colour in with a ribbon. Moving on to our next card. Now this one is a bit of a different one. This is our ice blue cardstock from the Essentials pack that we've been working with to create this, and then using the light champagne cardstock. Everything's been cut out of that, and then I've just distressed around the edges of it using a tea dye ink. Now again, this time we've got the border dies. Now don't forget they're now only £7.67 this week. This time I've gone for the snowflake insert on the scalloped frame, and I've done that top and bottom of my card. In the middle we've got our really lovely creator card die again, which of course is only £9.19. I haven't layered it this time, but I have added some of the blue gems on it that come from your Essentials pack. And then over here we have one of the little tabs from the snowflake frame. Obviously you don't have to use all of the elements together. This is just one of the medium sized ones to pop on my sentiment too. Ribbon again is in your Essentials pack, and then I've added in a different poinsettia and some foliage to this one. I'll show you those in just a minute, but don't forget we've also got your lantern die as well. Your lantern die is once again only reduced to £5.75, and I love that. I think that's such a pretty die. Your other dies that we've used, this is your foliage one, so that's available. That one's only £7.49, and if you wish to have it held, just let us know that you would like the foliage set. And then your poinsettia, we also used this on last week's video. If you haven't seen last week's video yet, do go and have a look at that. That was a very popular video, lots of lovely bits on that one. But this is your poinsettia die that we're looking at this time. This one's only £7.49, and we're going to call this one your silver poinsettia. So if you do wish to have it held, then once again, just let us know silver poinsettia, and we can do that for you. On to our next card. Now this one's a bit of a different one. I hadn't really done this before. I've cut several of a layered of a die. So several, oh that was a bit of a mouthful. Several layers of a die I should say. This is the wreath. I've done it in the light champagne colour stock again. And I've just layered them using foam pads to give me a bit of depth. I've added on the birds. Now the birds are quite nice because they come out of the penguin set, don't forget. And I've also added in the tree that comes from that set as well. Your penguin set of course is only £6.12. Your wreath is only £8.79. Then the corner, this is the first time we're getting to chat about the corner really. The corner's quite good fun because it starts off that you've got the baubles on it, and you've got the big bow at the top and the little birds on the side, and it makes a perfect corner in one direction. The corner is of course only reduced at £5.83. So But if you don't wish to just use it in one corner and you wish to use it in your other corners, there's nothing stopping you cutting elements off of it so you can twist the angle of it. So for instance, on this one, I've cut off the birds on the edges because they'd be facing upwards and look a bit odd. And I've cut the baubles off because they'd be going that way. And I've left the bow on because, of course, it's a top corner. Then down here, I've actually taken the bow, the birds and the baubles off so I can make them into bottom corners as well. So there really is lots of options and ways you can snip that about to make bits up. You could, of course, use it as a everyday border and match several up as well. Nothing stopping you playing about with that one to get different effects from it. But I love that. And for £5.83, I think that's a really fun corner to play about with. Behind them, I've just cut some cardstock out and made little mats to go underneath them. So obviously we've got the burgundy going on underneath these that, of course, you're getting in your essentials pack. We've got the green under the reef as well. And you've got more ribbons that you're going to be getting in your essentials pack as well. On to talking about our very cute penguin. Now, of course, your penguin set is only £6.12. Now, the good bit with your penguin is all of the elements that cut out of it can be popped back into it in different colours to make him look like a really cute penguin. You could, of course, colour him like I did on some of my other items that I've done today, but this is actually made up of all different colour cardstocks and just paper piecing him back together. Behind our very cute, very in love with penguin, we then have the snowflake frame. Now, of course, your snowflake frame is only £7.67, but I've just cut it out of different shades of blue and layered it. Your orange ribbon is again out of your essentials pack as well, so it's quite a cute one and it matches him really well with his little hat, and of course that goes in quite well with the rest of his colouring. On to our next one. Now this time we're going to look at this one. So this is using the border die set. Again, £7.67, but what I've done is I've cut out my holly one with the rectangle edges around it, and I've just cut 5 of them and spread it out onto a piece of black card. I've then layered with different cardstock underneath it on an 8x8 card, and then for my reef I've just cut that in gold, and underneath it I've done a black layer as well. I've padded them together so when you look through the gold one you do see a bit of a hint of the black just to tie in the other colour schemes. I thought it was quite a modern card for me. I don't tend to do modern Christmas, but I thought it was just a different way to show you that these dies are really good, because if you want traditional Christmas they work for that, if you want modern Christmas they can work for that, if you want to do cards for your children or your grandchildren they can work for that, or if you just want to make Christmas decorations and table settings and things like that with these, they really do work in every sense that you could want a Christmas die to work for you in. I also did the same in silver just to show you a different idea, so or the same idea but in a different colour scheme. So this time we've gone for silver, black and white, and instead I've used the snowflake die in the middle instead of the holly one that we show you on the gold one. So again, it just shows you how you can use the different elements and make different but very similar cards. Another idea I wanted to show you with that set is this one. So if you don't wish to cut the panels out as individuals, you can just use the insert bit and cut repeated strips. So this time I've cut 5 strips, but there's nothing stopping you from marrying them up and making it much longer or much wider. It's just down to how many cuts and the size machine you're working with. I was only working with a Cuttlebug to make my cards, so I kept the panel rather small, but there's no reason you couldn't go bigger if you wanted to. Behind it I've just put some silver mirror board, and then I've matted that onto some black and some silver again. In the middle here we've got the elements that come out of the snowflake frame, and I've just used that again for my sentiment. And the inside we've then got the snowflake frame once again with the elements that come with it layered up in the middle for another sentiment. But it's just quite a simple modern Christmas card. Works quite well with them sets, and it shows you how you can really marry them up and work together. Again, the snowflake border really works well with the snowflake frame. And then for my last card today, we're on to this one at the end here. So this time we've got a whole host of different bits going on. In the middle we've got the lantern, which of course is only £5.75. We've got the snowflake frame, which is £7.67. And then we've got the corner one again, which is £5.83. So the corner, of course, is left in its whole entirety here. We've then used it down here and I've cut bits off of it once again. But these 2 parts to make up these corners, I wanted to also show you how you could cut the bits off of the lantern. So I've cut the bird off, I've cut the lantern off, and this bit here is what you're left with to make these 2 corners. So if you don't want quite as large corners, it can be really good for that too. Obviously there are your snowflake panels behind it. It's quite a simple card, this one, but it just shows you how you can work with frame boxes and play about with these dies a bit. If you haven't seen the spring boxes, I should call them spring boxes or frame boxes, These are those. You get 5 in a packet for just £5.25. They give you loads of instructions showing you how to make them. There's actually 2 sides to this, but don't panic. It doesn't mean they're complicated. They've just been really thorough in showing you how you can work with them. They're, of course, available online or in both of our stores, and they're so fun to build. They only come in white, so for my one, I've gone over the top of it with distress inks to turn it green, because that's the colour I wanted, but there's nothing stopping you from stamping on them or inking them, pixie powdering them, whatever it is you wish to colour them to the scheme that you wish to be working with. So that completes all of my cards today. So what we're going to do quickly is just a run through of the dies, just in case you're not sure of which ones you want to have a look at. We'll have a quick scan over the essentials pack, and then I'll explain to you how our shipping works once again. So your die set number 1 is your borders. It should be £9.59, but it's only £7.67. Die 2 is your lantern set, should be £7.19p, but is only £5.75. Die set number 3 is our penguin and tree set, should be £7.65, but is only £6.12. Die number 4 is your reef. The reef should be £10.99, but is only £8.79. Die number 5 is your snowflake frame, should be £9.59, but is only £7.67. Die number 6 is your creator card frame. Now this one should be £11.49, but is reduced to just £9.19p. Die number 7 is your corner die, should be £7.29, but is only £5.83. If you wish to save even more than buying them individually, you could buy the mega bundle. The mega bundle will give you all 7 sets of dies. It should cost you £63.73 to buy them at the recommended retail price, but you can buy the whole bundle for just £50. Once again, don't forget your essentials pack. Your essentials pack should be £21.54p, but you're going to get all of these goodies for just £14. So again, a really good little bargain to be had. And hopefully now you've seen all of my cards, you can see how all of these components can come together to make some really lovely ideas come to reality. If you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and a share. By doing so, more people will get to see our videos, and the more people that get to watch them, the bigger and better videos we can bring you with even bigger and bolder offers. Now, of course, if you are thinking that you'd like these sent to you, that's no problem. You can order them on our website. All of the items are pictured. You can also see all of the cards on our website, and you can have a good close-up. We have a zoom-in button, so you can really have a good close-up view of the cards if you wish to. They're also on our Pinterest page, so if you do wish to go on there, you can, of course, pin your cards so you can come back to them at a later date. But going back to the shopping with us online, if you do wish to have these items posted to you, doesn't matter if you live at the end of the road to one of our stores or the other side of the world, we will literally send these products anywhere that you wish to have them sent. If you do live within the UK, then our postage is really simple. If you spend over £35, P&P is completely free. If you spend less than £35, P&P is just a flat rate of £2.75. If you do wish to have these sent to you anywhere in the world, it's not a problem. Just check out our frequently asked questions page on our website, and it will tell you how our international shipping works. But I promise you, we keep it as cheap as we can do for you, because we know the last thing any of us want to spend money on is P&P, when you could be using that money to buy lots more crafty goodies, couldn't we? Who wants to waste it on P&P? Very boring. If you've enjoyed today's video, once again, please don't forget to share it, like it, and of course, make sure that all of your friends and family know about us too. Once again, the more people who watch this, the better. Obviously, don't forget, if you do wish to have your items held for you in store, you can do by letting us know on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I'll be back next Sunday with a whole new video for you. And I can tell you now, I don't normally know this, but it's going to be a really good video. So do make sure you tune in next week to see that one too. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.